Okay, this is me trying to make something very clear. Experimental laptop, favorite laptop that I would rock every day, no problem. Listen, for the past like month and a half, okay, my goal has been to see if Linux is for me and if I can make my daily laptop a Linux-based machine. And I've been really enjoying it. Now, it's not for everyone. It really isn't. I mean, it can get complicated, really. So MacBooks are just like MacBooks, you know? They just work. And honestly, I think the best MacBook up to now is, wait, let me check 2 seconds. Yeah. This one right here, the M1 Pro. I can literally still rock this if I wanted to and have no issues. But right now, there's a sweet deal going out there for an M1 Max. And I feel like that in 2026, moving forward, is probably the laptop to get. Before I forget, Happy New Year. Yeah, I wish you guys all the best for 2026. So, I've had this M1 Pro ever since it came out, and I've gone through all of them really. M2, M3, M4, and now the M5. I'm not talking about BMWs, no. And although I'm currently not rocking any of them, because like I said, I'm mainly a Windows/Linux user now, I very much think that MacBooks are the laptops to get in this freaking crazy economy. But, you know, MacBooks aren't for everyone, so let me just save you some time before you watch this entire video. Unlike my P16, MacBooks can't game. Excel sucks for the most part. It's limited in ports in terms of USB-A's. Everything is pretty much soldered. Like, you can't even upgrade your storage if you wanted to. What else? Oh yeah, specialized software or niche software doesn't really run natively. Like, you know, forget about like AutoCAD and SolidWorks, for example. And really, as soon as you get one, you will undoubtedly start getting sucked into like the ecosystem. So really, MacBooks aren't for everyone. They're really not. In fact, my wife can't stand them. And I can't really blame her. She's a CPA. She uses Excel a lot. She's used to the control key and not the command key. Her work laptop is a Lenovo X1 ThinkPad. She likes the portability. It's Windows based. And it does the job, although it's not the fastest, but she can very much do anything and everything she needs on it. The funny thing is that she wants me to find her a Windows-based laptop that very much looks like a MacBook Air.
Huh? But what the hell, boy?
I think I've figured it out, believe it or not. I'm probably gonna go with a Windows Surface for her. I think she's gonna like that. ARM-based, you know, to make sure her battery lasts for a bit longer than what we're used to in Windows laptops. But yeah, this isn't for everyone, honestly. Gaming, Excel, upgradability, compatibility, all valid complaints, I feel you. And until recently, RAM pricing was like one of my biggest ones because RAM upgradability on MacBooks is absolutely absurd. Or it used to be, because honestly, now it's sort of starting to become like a bargain, right? And you know what's funny? Jumping from 16 gigabytes to 24 gigabytes of unified memory costs about $300, which sounds crazy. And then you go up again to 32 gigabytes and suddenly you're paying what we used to call a $600 premium. But here's the important part. You're not actually just paying for more RAM, right? You're paying for unified memory. And think of unified memory as like RAM on roids. Really, it's the same idea as traditional RAM, sort of the same concept, but it lives much closer to the CPU, GPU, and well, the neural engine. Because well, everything essentially pulls from the same memory pool instead of just going back and forth copying data. And that's why, like, as a result, everything just feels so much faster on macOS. Now, let me show you what 32 gigabytes of RAM looks like on the PC side today in terms of price. This is f***ing crazy, man. I bought this about a year and 6 months ago, something like that, and for $490. Take a look at this. 64 gigabytes of Corsair RAM, 490 plus tax, because we love paying taxes, 500 something. Now, I'm going to click on the same product, okay? Corsair Dominator Titanium, here you go. Last purchase, June 27, 2024. Ready for the price? 1,342. I can't make this shit up. This is DDR5, recently almost tripled in price, designed for custom PCs, and it's great because you can upgrade this later if you wanted to. But once DDR5 moves into laptops, that advantage almost and mostly disappears. And compared to unified memory, well, DDR5 laptop systems are generally less power efficient and memory efficient, more duplication, more overhead, more wasted energy. Like really, they just sort of waste more memory and power compared to unified memory. So what I'm trying to get at is that not only is traditional laptop RAM less efficient than unified memory, but on top of that, RAM prices are skyrocketing because of AI demand. We are sadly seeing a huge price increase because of AI. This is already affecting the custom PC market and it freaking sucks. And it will probably most likely affect the laptop market this year. And it will eventually roll out to destroy the storage market and the GPU market for 2026. In fact, Nvidia are cutting about 40% of its gaming GPU production. So, not only are we getting but we are getting
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
No, honestly, like think about it. Now, all of a sudden, that $600 unified memory upgrade is not looking too bad. And on top of that, it's not only about RAM, but compared to Windows-based laptops, power efficiency is just, you can't even compare, man. Like, it just destroys it. And it destroys it in design, hardware, performance for the most part, and it's extremely reliable for the most part. And not to forget, it keeps resale value really well. You know what's funny is that the fact that Apple kind of suck at AI and they clearly haven't been investing too much on it might just save their asses. Because think about it, if they're not going to be investing in AI, are they going to be interested in increasing prices for us? Yeah, I know they're not the ones manufacturing chips. I know they have no control over what supplies and the demand and all that. I get it. But they are powerful enough and have enough money to decide whether or not they want to start manufacturing their own stuff. However, I don't have like a magic ball. I can't tell you that this is gonna last forever for Apple because maybe we'll see prices rising for Apple this year. I don't know. But what matters is right now, what can you do right now? Because there are some really good freaking deals to go get out there. For example, I'm trying to get an M1 Max MacBook Pro. I know I can find a 64 gigabyte unit with maybe 1 terabyte for about like 1,006, 1,008. That is one hell of a laptop for the price that was released like about 5 years ago, if I recall. A laptop that you won't need to still upgrade for a while. And the main reason I want to do this is to simply prove a damn point. Just to show you what a laptop like that is capable of doing. And I very much use my laptops a lot. In fact, I was planning on making a video like this, so if you guys want me to make a video like that, just let me know down below. But it won't be for a while because I'm still enjoying this baby right here. I'm really loving Linux. But I think it will definitely open some of your eyes, more specifically when it comes to buying Amazon or Apple refurbished products, which is what I recommend as long as you're buying from a trusted party if you're buying on Amazon. That said, the upcoming OLED model will be a real test of how pricing shifts. And honestly, I think I would argue that if you guys have the money to spend, I would literally take the time to spec one out and just keep it for a very long time, at least until this freaking AI madness or bubble pops. But the good thing is that if you don't want to spend the money, the number of laptops Apple has released since Apple Silicon came out is wild. Think about it, from M1 all the way to M5, they've been shipping way more performance than most people ever touch. There's a ton of powerful machines already out there at pre-AI prices that we can all go benefit from, including brand new MacBooks if prices were to rise. right? I think probably at the end of the day, we're all hoping that Apple sort of wakes up and they take a look at the market and they find solutions for us consumers, because I think this is like their power move, you know? This could be a power move for Apple. The only thing about all of this is that, well, gamers, they just always take a hit. We always take the hit because you cannot game on a MacBook. And the reality of things is that you either spend thousands of dollars on a good rig, or you start slightly moving away from PC gaming and maybe getting a Steam Deck or a PS5, a Windows handheld like, I don't know, my ROG Xbox Ally X, for example. Devices that just offer a strong overall experience at a fraction of the cost. But with time, and as we get into this whole AI nonsense, we will start seeing companies like AMD trying to save us, you know? Maybe it's not the most affordable thing in the world, but I think that the AMD Ryzen AI Max is definitely a good solution. One of the very few chips that offers consumers that unified memory architecture, right? I saw this not long ago with the ROG Flow Z13, and Jan was like blown away. Laptop you can configure with up to 128 gigabytes of unified memory and an architecture strong enough to deliver a really nice gaming experience. To be continued, because in the following couple of days I will be talking about this. In fact, I have a PX13 with me with that chip, and it's been very, very interesting. Although not cheap, but it seems like AMD is heading towards a brighter future, hopefully, please, gods, please. Anyways, like I mentioned, I'm a P16 user running Linux, Pop OS within my laptop. Been doing so for almost a month and a half, like I mentioned. I've got a Ryzen AI 9 HX 370 with 32 gigabytes of RAM and a 5090 in here. But at the end of the day, whether I'm running Windows or Linux, battery life kills me. It just kills me. Having to drag this 240 watt charger everywhere to get full performance is kind of annoying. And although this is an insane freaking laptop, it's still $5,000. For that type of money, you can build and spec an insane freaking MacBook and even have a bit of money left over to buy a PlayStation 5. Minus the OLED panel, because this does have an incredible OLED panel, that I will say, which has also been eating my battery life. All this to say, well, I think that this is where MacBooks shine, right? Like, battery life is still in a league of its own. I get about 2 to 3 hours if I'm lucky of really basic regular work on my P16. With the same workflow, I'll get about like 10 to 12 hours on the MacBook. I also get like silent performance, no fans screaming during even complex tasks, and it stays consistent whether you're video editing, coding, or juggling a dozen of apps plugged in or unplugged. Out of an M1 Max, I can get the same performance as this with better efficiency, really. But on paper, the numbers don't really make sense, right? Like, I can't be comparing this to an M1 Max. The reality is that in practice, you can, because as soon as you grab an M1 Max, you will feel the difference. Everything's just like smoother. Maybe, you know, your render times won't be as good, but you really need to save a minute, man. And I've tried an M1 Max in the past, back when Apple released them and they were sending us the M1 Max laptops, and they're really, really good. I think this is going to be like a really interesting year, you know? Like, I don't think it's gonna be fun at all. But anyways, I mean, who am I to say anything? I don't have a crystal ball, really. I hope this video helps you. Really, just go out there, man, and just go shop for MacBooks. I think it'll be a worthy investment.